Alright, so we're down to the final stages of the fabrication of the trike frame, and I reordered the hub for the sprocket, and the brake and sprocket are already installed on the axle. They're not tightened down. We're still doing the mock-up, and I got to do weld on the tab for the rear brake and the tab for the master cylinder. And another thing that I'm going to do as an afterthought, in the final stages, I found that on the seat, when I put it on here, we're a little too close to this sprocket. So I'm going to put a bar that goes around like this, kind of as a backrest and as protection from that rear sprocket, and I think that's it as far as fabrication goes. But I need to cut off a piece of 1/8 inch sheet metal to mount this this master caliper right here. And what this will actually, looks like it needs to be moved out, and it'll be mounted on a tab that's going to be welded onto this part right here. And I'll cut that out of some, again, 1/8 inch sheet metal, and I also have to cut out another tab for this to mount right there. Another thing I have to do is make the arm for the brake, and I've already started that out of some 3/8 inch plate steel. Basically, this is going to be mounted like this with a couple of bolts, and then right here is going to be a rod sticking out, and that'll be the foot brake right there, as it compresses the piston right here. So that's all that is. I still gotta grind it down and clean it up a little bit, but that's what that is. So we'll start to measure out a tab and weld it on. Alright, so here's the tab that I've cut out for the caliper, and this is basically how I'm gonna mount it. I got a ruler, a metal ruler, and a piece of a scraper in the back just to hold it tight up against the caliper and the disc, so I make sure it's at a 90-degree angle, and then I'll just tack it in here and here, and then take it off and then weld it around all the way around. And then that's and I haven't, like I say, I haven't tightened this up yet, so I can still move it over just, like a 32nd of an inch, just so it's centered within that caliper. Alright, so here's the tab welded on with the caliper mounted on there. It's not bolted on, but it's on there, and it seems to spin pretty freely without any binding. So I guess something actually worked out pretty good. I did get the other tab mounted as well on this end, and this right here will just be bolted onto here, and I still got to make the arm for that. But right now what I'm doing is making the back support that goes right here, which is going to be about 20 inches total with the bend right here, and then it'll be welded on just off to the side here, so I'd have room to reach the brake lines here on this side. So this is done here. This was kind of a pain to bend this, make this sharp bend, but overall I guess it came out pretty good. I put this piece of strap back here because I'm going to put a like a cushion on the back end here, and mounted these, or welded these on tabs to mount the seat. That's done. And all that is left is to drill the holes for the motor and to finish up the arm on the master cylinder. Alright, so the fabrication is done. Mock-up. I set everything on there and lined up well. I drilled the holes for the motor, elongated them so we can have some travel, so I can tighten the chain a little bit. The holes are drilled for the seat. The only change I think I'm going to make is the seat that I ordered was a charcoal gray, and I'm going to dye it black. And this part here, I made the little pad to go on there. It'll screw on from the back. Those little holes there. And so the only thing I have to do now is trim down the fork right here, because the neck that's on there comes up all the way up to here, and that's the only thing I got to do. And then strip off all of this stuff here down to bare metal and primer it with a filler primer, and then paint. I got some candy purple paint. Some of this stuff, Duratrax RC car paint. It's candy purple. I got 3 cans of this. Hopefully it'll do the whole frame. Because a lot of the stuff that I did ordered was already anodized purple. I did mount the tires on the wheels already. So this is pretty much done. I guess the next thing to do is paint it. Alright, so it's completely stripped all the way down to bare metal. I went and picked up some paint or primer and some self-etching primer to give it a coat of primer, and then before that I put on the paint. I'm going to do a base coat of silver. Since this is a candy color, usually you put a base coat of silver on there. Hopefully it'll do pretty good, and then after that I got some clear coat that I'll put a couple of coats on, and we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so here's the first coat of primer. It took 1 can, and I got the frame done and the forks. Actually, looks really nice. So now comes the silver, duplicolor. Alright, so I didn't quite have enough of the purple candy paint with 3 cans, so I'm going to have to order at least a couple more. I got pretty much a good top coat. It actually looks really nice with that silver coat. I'm glad I put the silver because it wouldn't have looked right with just the primer on there. So in case you do something like this, do a silver coat. And here's with the anodized pegs. Matches up pretty nice. I did have enough to do the forks, so those are completed. But it's a little splotchy in some areas, you know, like right here and down, and I didn't actually get the bottom. So go order 2 more cans, maybe even 3, so I can get a nice good coat of paint on there, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I finished painting it, started assembling some of the parts on there, I went ahead, I was looking through my local auto parts store, and originally I was using the Duratrax candy purple paint, and I ran out, and while I was in the auto parts store, I found this stuff. It's a duplicolor metal cast. Basically, it's supposed to make stuff like aluminum or raw metal look like anodized aluminum. And I tried it out on this. And the nice thing about that particular paint is it already has the clear coat in it. So it actually came out really, really nice. So you don't have to do the extra step of doing the clear coat. Like I did on this particular one, you do have to have a silver base coat, so it kind of looks like that candy purple color. I already got the pegs and the master cylinder on the front. This is the arm that I made for that master cylinder. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a foot there to give it some pressure, I guess that's what you want to call it. The axle is on. I've tightened down the bearings. These aren't tightened yet. And I already dyed the seat black with a leather dye, and that'll just go mounted on there. But I'm going to keep on putting it together and go as far as I can. Continuing on the assembly work, I've put on the hubs and finished putting on the brake lines, and I've bled those out. I've permanently installed the disc. This is still loose because I'm waiting on the chain to come in still. And seats on. Handlebars are on. This one isn't tight on yet because I'm waiting on the throttle cable still. And I painted the wheel black to kind of match the theme. And all I need is the chain and the throttle cable, and it's ready to go. Again, I've changed all the bolts here to stainless steel bolts, and here as well. Those are all stainless steel. And as a side note, I've been getting a lot of people requesting measurements. So get ready to get out your notebook and pens or pencil. The inside measurement here is about 7 inches, as well as here, about 7 inches. Each arm is, let's see here if I can do this with one hand, 23 inches in length total. This is 5 inches. Total length of the actual frame starts off about there. Is about 61 inches total with the bends. Inside measurement here is about 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Each one of these end pieces is looks like about 30 inches, 30 or 31 inches there. And that's for both sides. So these two pieces are 31 inches in length. And now the angles, this angle here and down here are all 30 degrees. This particular angle right here, I'm not sure of because I kind of just put it on there as I was bending it to see how far it would stick out so the wheel wouldn't rub on it. Let's see, this measurement here, this is an 8-foot square, the plate, and that's 1/8 inch sheet metal, I guess you. And that goes, sheet metal is this part here, which is the brake tab, this motor mount, and the tab for the master cylinder. All of the piping that I used is 1 inch black pipe, all of it except for this right here, which was taken off the Dolomite head or upper tube, which again was the wrong size because I had to weld an insert here to put this smaller cup. And the forks are made from scratch as well, so the inside measurement is just shy of 7 inches. And the length is about 17.5. Now this part right here, that was taken off of a salvage bicycle. This was ordered, all these parts here are ordered from eBay. This was ordered from eBay as well. That's custom made. And all of these parts here, this, that, and the axle was taken from Northern Tool. And the rest of the parts were all purchased from BMI online. The wheels as well were ordered there. Tires I already had, and I think I got those off of eBay as well. But it's just about finished, and I just need to wait on those parts to come in, and then we can take it for a test drive.